Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I was thinking about doing something a little bit different than we normally do here, which is like favorite palettes, favorite products, product reviews, and go through some things that I already own that I have sort of forgotten about. So I was thinking about this video and thinking about the eyeshadows I wanted to pull for it. So this is specific eyeshadows in older palettes that are really, really great, and for some reason I just stopped using them. So recently, Spooky Lips and Fat Hips, so Lacey runs that channel, and Georgia Harris just did a collab about their favorite shadow in each palette that they own. I'm going to give them credit as well because it's now with the timing it seems a little weird, but mine is a different type of video from that. But anyway, those are two very good videos, so I'll be linking those down below. Okay, so I'm just going to jump into this. So this, again, is older palettes that I've bought and things that I don't reach for anymore, but when I go and revisit them, they're actually very good shades in them, like incredible, incredible standout eyeshadows. So the first palette I'm going to reach for is the Alice Through the Looking Glass palette, which is this one here. And the two shades, actually there is three shades I'd like to pull out of here. Overall, this was a fantastic palette. Like, I know that not a lot of people loved it and didn't think it was that cohesive, and the packaging was too much, etc., etc. I personally liked it. I would like to talk about Metamorphosis, Hatter, and Lily. Metamorphosis is this like blue jean blue that I don't have anywhere else in my collection. Hatter is a very nice foresty type green, like a little bit less than forest green. Again, not a super common color. The pigmentation of these two colors are very, very good. And then the last one here is Lily, and Lily is like a peach pink white duochrome. And when you look at it in the pan, it doesn't look like too much. It doesn't look like anything exciting, but when you swatch it, it is beautiful. So that is my first three. My next palette I'm going to reach for is the Natasha Denona 28 pan palette, and I know that I have spoken previously about having purchased this and almost regretting it because it was so much money, but in this palette there is a shade right here, and what is this shade actually called? This shade is called Chromatic. Is this Silver Sparkle here? It is amazing. It is the most non-glitter but looks like glitter shade in my entire collection. This palette may not be my favorite thing in the whole world, but the actual glitter shades in these are amazing. I don't think you can get anything closer to what these are than what's actually in here. So that's this one here. Next up, and it is not necessarily something I don't use anymore, but definitely something that is not talked about as much as it used to be and deserves a little bit more credit still. The two shades from this palette are YDK and Booty Call. I hit pan on Booty Call probably within a few months of owning this palette. It is a beautiful highlight shade, and YDK is the shade that I wear when I'm in pretty much any wedding because it is the most reliable eyeshadow shade for a very classy, very pulled together look. So those two shades from this palette, primo. Getting into something that is a little bit older and no longer available is the Urban Decay Smoked. So this palette does have a lot of smoky shades in it. Obviously, it's a smoked palette. It makes total sense that it would be that way. But the shade I want to call out in this one is Mushroom. I don't have anything in my collection like Mushroom. It is a beautiful, like, gunmetal gray like silver. I can't even describe it. It is buttery, it is perfect, it gives this beautiful sheen on the eyelid, but while still being a neutral and still being smoky and classy. I don't know why I'm pulling out shades that I think are classy because I'm clearly not a classy person. I don't think we can actually reference older shadows in older palettes that are awesome without pulling out the Lorac Unzipped Gold. In this one we have, and I just put my thumb in it, in this one, we have the shade Unleashed. This is the best gold on the market. It is incredible. It actually goes on the eye and looks wet. When you swatch it, it looks wet. It doesn't crease. It is just a beautiful, true, like bronzy gold. It is amazing. If you have this palette in your collection still and it hasn't been decluttered, and just go reach for it, swatch it, and live in its wonder. Okay, we're going to start getting into some palettes that you guys are going to be like, oh my god, ew, why do you still own that? But I keep my stuff really clean. I actually keep alcohol spray very close to me, not to drink. I'm not that bad of an alcoholic. Like, I'm a little bit, not totally. But I actually like keep this on my desk. I spray down my stuff all the time. So I'm preempting your ew, your gross complaints. So my first reference is the Vice 3 palette. And this is super, super random, but my favorite shade in this is actually Bobby Dazzle down here. It is a weird, chunky white, but every time I wear it, I get compliments, and I really like how it looks on the eye. So even if the swatch isn't awesome, the actual shade is, and I really love it. The second shade from this palette I would like to mention is Alchemy. Alchemy was a beautiful, beautiful shade. In Born to Run, I did make reference to this shade. I'm a liar. It's not Alchemy that I like. It's Sonic. I used to really love the shade Bravado by MAC, which was in the Angel Wings quad that was released 100 years ago. I actually completely panned that shadow when I was younger. It was the only thing I used to use when I wore a blue eyeshadow, when I wore blue contacts. But if you have any kind of flecks of blue in your eyes, or you have any kind of like cool tones in your eyes, this really will make those pop out. I really love that. I also really loved Dragon, which is this green up here from this palette. It was amazing. I really like greens and purples that are done well. Because my eyes are green, this really works for me. So if your eyes are green and you have this palette, you may want to take a revisit to that shade there. Going back quite a few years, now I would like to talk about some shades from the Vice 2. This was one I actually reached for very recently because I'm trying to make more use of things I already have, especially after doing that declutter. I'm not saying I'm not buying anything, but you know, you should still love the one you're with. So this one, I'm having a hard time not blinding you or showing you my legs, but the shade Betrayal right here is this very purple, very beautiful. It's like a lilac purple with undertones of blue. But I love the way it looks, and because I can't describe it, let me just go ahead and put it on my finger so you can see more of what I'm talking about. Carrying on with the nonsense of the Vice palettes, we have the Vice 4 palette, and I would like to just take a quick discussion about Grasshopper, which is this green here. I think you can see the trend I have, which is basically shimmers and basically brights, but Grasshopper is also a beautiful shade and something that I have been reaching for a lot lately. There is obviously lots of palettes that have great mattes as well. They just aren't that interesting. One matte that I used to reach for all the time is Wedge from MAC, which is this guy here. It is basically the perfect transition shade for pretty much anybody that is a medium skin tone or under. I say that based on how tan I get in the summer based against how pale I am in the winter. If you've been around since January, you know that there's quite a big transition between the two. I actually go up almost 4 foundation shades, which is weird, but whatever. So yeah, I would definitely say Wedge is a beautiful shade. Also another MAC shade that was like be all to end all is Amber Lights, which is right here. And I'm being personally attacked by my eyeshadows. Sorry, this one is a little harder to go through. This is not all my MAC shadows, just a few that I do reach for a lot. But I definitely, Wedge is probably the best MAC that I own. Anyway guys, please feel free to leave some eyeshadows down below that you think are awesome, that are a little bit older and people don't talk about anymore and they don't get the credit that they deserve, because I would love to have that reminder and see if I have them in my collection as well. Thank you so much for watching.